In the shadows of the mysterious Mount Shasta, nestled deep in the National Forest, lies the tiny, historic town of Tennant, California. To get here, you have to turn off the volcanic scenic Highway 97 and make the 13-mile trek down Tennant Road. Along the way, you'll pass Antelope Creek Ranch with its world-class fly fishing and the turnoff to Medicine Lake Volcano, as well as Lava Beds National Monument. Or you may run into a cattle roundup or a flyover by one of the 30 pairs of nesting bald eagles from nearby Meese Lake. Just outside of town is the Tennant Cemetery that has been here since the early 1920s, when Tennant was the headquarters for Long Bell Lumber Company's remote operations. As you enter town, you see the mailboxes, fire hall, community center, and the old general store, a privately owned property currently for sale. Residents would love to see this historic building saved and turned into a general store, cafe, museum, and/or music hall. In front of the store is a monument to our town's history, founded in 1921. The stones around the plaque are obsidian, a locally abundant volcanic rock. Across the street is our community center, Home Hall, built in 1920. It could definitely use some love. Behind the community center is the community garden, built using lumber from the old library. Lately, we've been dreaming of a greenhouse made from other historic structures on the site. Further back still is the largest historic private residence in town, the Big House, that used to be where the manager lived. Together, what these buildings need is a cohesive design that will highlight the architecture of the historical structures while incorporating the newer mailboxes and fire hall in order to create a beautiful and functional public space at the entrance of our hometown. This project holds the potential to revitalize the place we call home, and we think HGTV's Ben and Aaron are just the ones to do it. A drive down Main Street reveals numerous small 100-year-old cabins that, while remodeled, still retain features such as cedar shakes and all-wood interiors. One rebuild keeps the original footprint and feel. There are also multiple individual residences that would be candidates for rehab. Some of these cabins are still owned by family members of people who grew up here in the 20s and 30s. Turning north from Main Street brings you to Pine Ridge Lane, with some cabins that have been well maintained and added onto over the years. Across the street is the old schoolhouse, which is privately owned and includes the 16 acres of property and a newer cabin designed by an architect from San Francisco. Here is a large residence that was created by combining two original small cabins that were on lots next to each other. It sports the local Tennant trim around the windows and doors, as well as some local humor. We do love our trees, and the huge ponderosa pines are everywhere. On the south side of Main Street are homes that face the National Forest, and at the end of town, on Willow Lane, is our artesian well and a row of rustic cabins that would be wonderful candidates for rehabs that respect and incorporate the historically Western persona of this region of Northern California. The area also includes a 2-story lodge, a tea house, and a windmill. Whether gathering at the tea house for a block party, hanging out on Main Street with some of our animal friends, fishing on a nearby river, barbecuing with neighbors, or relaxing to the sounds of Antelope Creek, Tennant, California is a great